Good morning, Bo and Jenna and Caitlin. And good morning, Sierra. And good morning, Naomi. And good morning, Levi. Sierra, if you are with Cody at the moment, could you please let us know in the chat, just so we're aware about that, please? Hi, Naomi.
Good morning.
Okay, Cody and Sierra are together. Thank you. Good morning, Rebecca. Okay, so let me count. We have Caitlin, Levi, Cody, Sierra, Rebecca. I don't see Williams, so we're just waiting. Oh, there's William. Okay, I believe we have everyone. That looks like everyone. Okay, so good morning to everyone. We are entering workshop week, which is super exciting. I'm gonna ask everyone to turn their cameras on. I know it isn't the best thing to do, but I feel like I'm talking to myself right now, and that's always a little bit awkward. So I want to see everyone's faces this morning. I'm gonna minimize my chat now. It'll take me a second to get connected. No worries. I can't because of my phone. No worries, Caitlin. All good. I understand.
I'm just gonna go ahead and introduce myself as well because I haven't met you guys yet. So I'm Ashley. I'm also team leader to the YETI program. So I'm gonna be monitoring chat today. So if you have any questions, I'll be looking in there. We're also gonna ask the hosts if they want to ask questions throughout their presentations or after. So we'll just stand by and wait for them to let us know.
Perfect. Yes, I totally forgot that you guys haven't met Ashley yet, so my bad. Yeah, Ashley is joining us as a team lead this year, so we have a few of us that are going to make a wonderful team. Okay, so Levi, I know you said you're still trying to connect. Cody and Sarah, if you are able to turn your cameras on, we would love to see you. William, we would love to see you with your camera on. Okay, we're going to get started. It is currently 9:33. So, welcome, and I'm really happy that you're all here. I'm really excited for this week. It's going to be a fun, information-filled week. I want to start by going around the room, and I want everyone to mention one thing that they're excited about, what they're looking forward to, anything, what you're looking to take away. We just want to hear your voice. We want to talk to you. So I'm just going to go with what is in order of my screen. So let's start with you, Naomi. So if you just want to unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to making up the different activities. I think it's really fun to make them up for the kids to go in the boxes. And what I'm looking to take away is really just more experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we hope that you get some good experiences this week. I know everyone will, but I really hope that you all have a good takeaway from workshop week. Thank you, Naomi. So if you would like to, you can mute yourself again there. Bo, you are next. So Bo, if you could just unmute yourself and let us know what you're looking forward to.
Okay. I'm really looking forward to starting up my business or getting my business really good and prepared to do things, and I hope I can take a lot to help out with my business.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing, Bo. I think that, yeah, like I said, I think we're all definitely going to have some awesome takeaways from the week. So thanks for sharing, Bo. If you just want to, yeah, I see you've muted yourself. Awesome job. Okay, next we have Jenna. So if you just want to unmute yourself, Jenna.
I am looking forward to learning how to expand my business better and advertising it and getting it out there more.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Jenna. Next we have Rebecca. If you just want to unmute yourself, Rebecca.
I'm excited to learn from people who have more experience than me and who could teach me more about starting a business.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have some really great people that have offered their time this week. So I think, yeah, you're definitely going to learn a ton from them. William, if you want to unmute yourself and share with us.
I'm just excited to get experience in the summer and learn how to work well on a people.
Sorry, could you repeat yourself? That just the last thing you said there, it kind of cut off.
Work with people and work at people and new people.
Okay, William, I might need you, if we call on you to talk at any time, I know for my end, it's just a little bit choppy. So if you wouldn't mind maybe typing in the chat box, it's just a little bit choppy. It could be on our end, but just in case, yeah, if we could just get you to type in the chat box. Not that we don't want to hear you, but okay, thank you for sharing that, William. Okay, Levi, we have you next.
I think mostly to hear from other people what different views and
Okay, you're sounding pretty quiet, Levi. I don't know if it's also maybe something just on my end. Could anyone hear Levi pretty loud, or is he pretty quiet? Couldn't hear him. Okay, maybe if you would just maybe want to talk a little bit louder, or like William, if you type chat box. Sorry, oh, things are going to be a little.
Can you hear better now?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Mostly is to hear from other people and have a better idea of other ideas to combine with the ones that I've heard from others.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Levi. Okay, Cody and Sierra, let's hear from you.
We're excited to learn new ideas and find out new things to run our businesses better and learn new opinions from other people.
Awesome. For sure. Thanks, guys. And then we have Caitlin.
Excited to learn how to expand my business more and just learn new stuff in general.
Okay. Wow. Thanks for sharing, guys. That's really awesome. We love hearing from you guys. I always like talking, but I do like to hear from other people. And I love hearing what you're all excited about, because we're all going to have different takeaways from this week. We might all, learn something that maybe hits us a little bit differently than the next person. So I'm really happy to hear that you guys are looking forward to this. I will share my own. So I I went through workshop week last week as well, and I just learned so much about running my own business. So I am looking forward to taking something away from every single presenter that we have. I think there's so much to learn. Like, no one ever can stop learning. You learn something new every day. So if you really just open yourself up to, take this information from people in our community, I think that you all are going to have some amazing takeaways. So that's what I am looking forward to. Do you want to share what you're looking forward to, Ashley?
Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to seeing what you guys take out of this. I honestly wish I had this opportunity when I was in high school. I would learn so much, and I think it's great that people in our community are presenting to us and sharing some tips, because I know that there's always going to be good entrepreneurs and bad entrepreneurs, and it's great that people are like reaching out to us and helping you guys learn and helping you guys grow. So I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. So if you may have noticed on our call, we have Sue and we have Amanda Hardman. So Sue is also our YETI team lead, and Amanda is another summer student in the office. So they are just going to be on the call. As we know from orientation, there might be a few hiccups with our virtual style this year. So if there are any virtual hiccups, that's what they're here for. If we do have anything, we just ask that you stand by. We'll send out a text immediately if something does happen. I mean, knock on wood that nothing too terrible happens, but I mean, we can't really do much about that. So if you happen to be dropped from the call, give us a text. There's always the option to dial in, but we just want to make sure that everyone's here and everyone's good. So if you have any questions, any concerns at any time, just let us know. You can always do the little raise hand option. I believe that's a thing here. Well, if it's not, you can give a thumbs up emoji if you need help, or send us something in the chat. So I'm just gonna run over a few quick things that are super important. Oh, we have some lovely messages from Sue and Amanda in the chat. Thank you. So we're gonna run over some super important things that we want you to know before we officially kick off for workshop week. So I have everything written behind me here. I sent out, I honestly can't remember, was it an email, was it a text message, who knows? I sent something about Marco Polo. Did everyone get the chance to get Marco Polo? We're gonna test out the little thumbs up on your reaction. So if you got Marco Polo, I wanna see your little thumbs up. I will do it and show you. So I see Rebecca, who else do I see? I see Jenna. Okay, if you aren't sure how to, oh, there's Levi's. I see something in the chat here. Okay, Caitlin, William, Levi. Okay, so it seems like you were all able to download Marco Polo, which is awesome. So Marco Polo is one of my favorite apps. It is do you want to go in the chat and tell Sue how she could react there? So Marco Polo is kind of similar to FaceTime, but you're not in the moment with them. However, you are live. So as soon as you start recording that message, there's just no going back. So you're gonna send messages to people in real time. They can watch you in real time, and then they can send you their like immediate response. It's a super easy way to communicate with one another. So I want us all to have a big old group chat on Marco Polo, because I know for myself, sometimes it's easier to just hop in front of your camera, say what you need to say, rather than sending out a long-winded text. And I know that text, sometimes you're like, ugh, it's 8 a.m, I really don't want to talk to you. So let's use Marco Polo for the most part that we can. So yeah, if everyone has it, then that's awesome. Let's use that. Next thing is Instagram. I know a few of you have Instagram. Some of you have personal Instagram. Some of you already have a business Instagram started. Does anyone here not have Instagram? Just give me a quick, I don't have Instagram in the chat. Not seeing anything so far. Okay, so it seems like everyone here has Instagram, which is awesome. So I'm going to be speaking on Instagram this afternoon. So we're gonna learn a little bit more about Instagram, but I just wanted to make sure that everyone had it downloaded because it has to do with an interactive piece later this afternoon. So Instagram, done and done. Okay, workshop schedule. So this morning looks a little bit different. We did ask you to join at 9:30 a.m. because we wanted to just kind of give you a quick rundown of the week. We are kicking off with our first presenters at 10 a.m. They might actually be joining us just in a few minutes here. And these are the girls from Adams & Co. And they're going to teach us about sustainability. So I'm really excited and looking forward to that. So every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, we are starting our sessions at 10 a.m., going till 12 p.m. We are having a 1-hour break, and we want you to get off the call, take a walk, eat a lunch, really just give your mind a break, because like I said, it's going to be quite a bit of information. We don't want you to feel overwhelmed, overstimulated. So just give yourself some time to take a break, do what you need to do. 1 p.m., you're going to jump back on, and we're going to go till 3 p.m. So we're going to do that every day, Monday to Friday this week. And we do need you to join every call. It is super important that you show up and that you're learning with all of us, because this is a mandatory piece for YETI. What else do we have here? Our cameras. So I see that everyone here that can have their camera on has it on. I really appreciate that. It makes it so much easier talking to you guys when we can actually see you. So we really do appreciate that. And we are going to ask that you keep your camera on as much as you can. If there is a reason that you need to have your camera off, we understand, but we really do want to see you. So while the presenters are presenting, they also want to see you. They want to get to know you. They don't just want to be sitting in front of their laptop for 2 hours talking your guys' ears off. So let them see you, interact with them. A lot of them are here volunteering their time to be with you and to learn with you. So just really show your enthusiasm, show that you're, grateful to have them here. I know you all will, because you're a super amazing group, but we just really appreciate our presenters, and we want for you guys to appreciate them as well. Okay, so also our last thing to mention is our Google Drive and our YouTube. So we have a lot going on in the office this week, and our Wi-Fi, fingers crossed that she holds out, because we have a lot.
Yeah.
We're asking a lot of our Wi-Fi this week. So we are going to be uploading the presentations to the Google Drive. And no, this does not mean that you can skip out on a presentation. We do need you to be at all of them, like I said, but you do have them to go back on to reference. So we will share that Google Drive with you. And that's just when I was nagging about needing your Gmail account, that's where it will come in handy. We'll share that with you there. And then our YouTube, just like we did for orientation, we're going to be recording all of these sessions and uploading them to our YouTube. So at any time you can go back, rewatch the session. Like I said, lots of, it is quite a bit of information. So if you're like, I really like that one, but I wish I could watch it again. There you go, YouTube, we can do that. We love technology. So yeah, what time are we at? We are at 9:48. So the Adams & Co. girls should be here right away. But before they are, does anyone here have any questions, any concerns, anything they'd like to, talk about? If you do, unmute yourself, say it in the chat, let us know. Okay. If you aren't already following us on Instagram, I would love for you to do that. Our Instagram is YETI CFCR. And we're gonna take a picture and post it on our story. So everyone smile. And I'm gonna take the picture in 3, 2, 1. Yay, okay, thanks everyone. Oh, okay, I don't know what happened. Sorry, we have to do it again. I don't know what happened there. Okay. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Yay, okay, good stuff. Okay, So we will take a very quick break. I do want you all to stay on here though, because we do have our friends from Adams & Co. joining us any second. And yeah, we just want to give them our full attention. Feel free, do what you need to do. Take notes, however that looks for you, however works best. Like I said, presentations will be uploaded later, so you do have them to go back on. This is being recorded. But yeah. And yeah, we're just gonna ask the Adams & Co. girls when they get here, whether they prefer questions while they're talking, if they would rather save them to the end. They are here, so I'm going to allow them on the call and we're gonna get started. Thank you all for your attention and enthusiasm this morning. Hello.
Good morning.
You are just, oh, there you are. Now you're unmuted. Okay, hello to the Adams & Co. ladies. So this morning we have joining us Janine and Brittany. They make up 2/3 of the ladies from Adams & Co. So why don't you share a little bit about yourselves with us?
Sure, I'm just gonna share my screen here because we do kind of have,
Do you need,
we're gonna have to enable our screen sharing.
Okay. Just give us 2 seconds.
Go to share your screen. Click that little arrow. And then multiple opportunities.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you should be able to do that now. Let us know if you have any troubles.
Let's see here.
And then while you guys are doing that, we're just going to ask you a question quick. For your presentation, would you prefer questions as, the students have them? Would you rather wait until the end? What works for you ladies?
We're super easygoing, so feel free to just kind of like give a little wave or hop on the microphone and just ask your question. Or if you're more comfortable just like keeping a running tab, we do have time at the end for questions. So whatever you're most comfortable with.
We're super easygoing, so whatever.
Okay. I'm going to mute myself now, and I ask any students, if you are unmuted, just take this time to mute yourself so we can give the Adams & Co. girls the floor.
Perfect. There we go. Okay, so can you guys give us a thumbs up if you can see our screen? Awesome. Okay. It worked. That's the best feeling when technology goes in your favor.
Okay, so I guess we'll just kind of start, but our first slide is literally talking about ourselves. So today we're going to be speaking to you all about sustainability and small business. And just right off the bat, we wanted to say, like, even though we are really focusing about sustainability today, if you have any questions regarding like small business, about us, any kind of aspect of your small business or what we've personally done, feel free to ask that as well. It doesn't have to be a one-track conversation. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we can kind of get started. Oops. Okay. So who are we? So Amanda kind of said already that we are 2 of the 3 ladies that are running Adams & Co. Our third partner, I guess, is named Sophia. She has 2 little ones, so she's at home with them this morning, which is why she can't join us, but that's all good. So yeah, we're a women-run business out of Stony Plain, Alberta. We like to say we specialize in handmade items. And we've kind of been talking more and more how we're kind of like more like a lifestyle brand. We don't really limit ourselves to like 1 or 2 products. It's kind of like whatever
like fits with our brand.
Yeah, whatever fits in our brand, or like things that we just want to make, we kind of integrate that. We feel like our brand is like our lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a reflection of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
individually and as a group.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So examples of different items that we make scrunchies, we make beeswax wraps and other beeswax products. And we also just make other sustainable lifestyle accessories such as dryer balls, which is a more environmentally friendly alternative to dryer sheets, produce bags, stuff along that sort of wavelength, I guess.
And I think we knew from like the beginning that we definitely like sustainability was something that was going to be important to us in our business. And I think that we've been able to really like key in on that. So I think it's perfect that we're talking about that today.
Yeah, as you'll see more throughout the presentation. So this is kind of like our statement that we kind of say when describing the business. So we strive to make aesthetically pleasing, sustainable, and useful products that will allow our customers to make an easy transition into a more environmentally conscious life. So this is something that we're going to dive into a little bit deeper throughout the presentation. But I think just that easy transition part is really important to us. We're not asking our customers or the people in our lives to completely change their lifestyle to be more environmentally conscious or to be more sustainable. It is all about taking small steps in the right direction. And that's kind of something that we hope that we can facilitate in our community and with the people that we know.
Yeah.
And then we always say that our 3 major things are sustainability, community, and spreading joy. We find that those are the heart of our business, as they're 3 things that are super important to us individually as a group, and we think it's important to bring those aspects into our business as it shows that we are authentic and bringing our personal life into our business, which we will also talk about today.
Yeah, I think like we are still learning as we're going to, like we are really just a baby business too, and we like kind of just took off running. Like we didn't really put a lot of like time and like we did research like the market and everything that we'd be entering, but really like we're learning as we're going to. So I think that's really important, and I think that you guys are doing a great job. Even the fact that you're here today is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
It's exciting. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, and we didn't add it on here, but we actually just started this in November of last year, so we're only not even a year old yet. So I'm sure some of you have even been doing this longer than we have. So if you guys have insight to share as well, like totally feel free, and we're happy to have an open conversation with you guys. So yeah. I just wanted to also share, we kind of said this is our why statement or our mission statement that I read on the previous slide. This is just what it looks like on our website, and some examples of our products on the right hand side there. So our dryer balls on the top, our beeswax wrap sets on the bottom, and yeah. So that's, I guess, like a little summary about us. If you have any questions about us, like feel free again. But we kind of wanted to open the conversation as well. What's a beeswax wrap? Awesome question.
Thanks, Sue.
Yeah, thanks for that question. That's awesome. So if anybody has not heard of beeswax products before, basically they are an alternative to plastic products, especially like in the kitchen where it is like most used, I guess.
Like a one time.
Yeah, like saran wrap or like a Ziploc. So our beeswax wraps are 100% cotton. We coat them in a beeswax mixture with a bunch of other ingredients in there. Do we have one?
Lots.
Yeah,
they're all here
on hand. We can show you them too. So yeah, basically it's just to replace saran wrap. So you can wrap it around your food. We do have like little baggies, so you can put like snacks and stuff in it. This is what they look like. And they just you use your heat of your hands to heat them up. And then you can just like wrap it around your food. So like, I don't really have anything here, but it's like kind of sticky, and yeah.
The texture, when you feel it, you'd understand that like it can mold around anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we've used them for traveling. So like I have like a little one that I cover like the top of my toothbrush with. Instead of using like a Ziploc bag, you use them for snacks. If you cut like an onion in half to store it in the fridge. Yeah.
So, good question.
Yeah, great question. Love it. Okay. So we've kind of talked about us a little bit. We kind of wanted to have like a little bit of an open conversation and get to know you guys a little bit more. So our first question is, what would you like to take away from this presentation? So if anybody wants to start it off, we're looking for just like your name, your business, and what you hope to learn from the presentation. And then really quickly to answer Levi's question, yeah, it's a cotton. So instead of like a heavier canvas fabric, it's quite thin, but it still has like a pretty tight weave to hold on to the
no
wax
idea what a
and
wax
stuff.
canvas is, but yeah, it sounds like that's what it'd be like.
It's not as like thick, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if anybody wants to take off running with your name, your business, and what you hope to learn today, feel free to unmute yourselves.
Just
and
learning
share.
about you would help us like make this more relevant to like your business, and we could maybe give you like some examples to tie in. So
Okay, we're gonna start backwards from the order we started with this morning. So Cody and Sierra, I'm gonna ask you guys to unmute yourself, and we would love to hear from you.
Hi, I'm Cody and Sierra's beside me. Our business is vending machines, and we run several candy machines, and we're hoping to move into larger machines in the near future.
That's awesome. Super cool.
we love candy, so you got us there. Big candy fans. Okay, that's awesome. Perfect.
And what do you hope to learn today? Anything particular?
Well, I find consistency really important, so I believe sustainability will help everyone in the group here.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cody, for sharing that. Bo, we're gonna go to you next. So if you just want to unmute yourself there, Bo.
Thank you. Couldn't figure it out there. My business is a bike repair and ski repair and tuning business.
Awesome.
And I guess I don't really know what else to say.
Totally, that's totally fair.
I'm sure you'll learn something. Well, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Bo.
Yeah, thanks, Bo. Okay, Rebecca, we have you next.
My business is a photography business. I just want to take like portraits of individuals, groups, or events. I just want to take away anything interesting or just learn something new.
Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, now of course it's kind of going out of order here, so let's just go to William next.
Is my microphone working better since I switched, or?
Yeah.
Okay. My business is it started with just basic yard work stuff, but I've started doing work for people, and it's turned into yard work, and I've started working with livestock. Like the one lady I work for there has a bunch of mules, so I've been learning how to work with those. So yeah, it's yard work, manual labor. It's just basic work, really.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thanks, William.
Okay, thank you, William. Levi, let's go to you.
I do leather work, making wallets, leather journals, and bracelets, and just other things like that made of leather, and generally going for the idea of something that's rugged but still looks nice, and it isn't too bulky, but it still serves that function without taking up a lot of room or being cumbersome to use.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what I would be looking to learn from is how you do things like when you're starting to do new products and things like that, how you would introduce those things, if it's waiting a month after you've launched each one, or if that's just how you can know when you're ready to start doing a new product.
That's a really good question.
That's a
we'll
great
touch
question.
on that at some point then, definitely.
Yeah, I'll write
We
that
will
down
write
so
that
we
down.
don't forget.
Thanks, Levi.
Yeah, awesome question, Levi. Okay, we are going to jump to Jenna next.
Hi, my business is mowing grass and weed whacking and doing yard work. And I'd like to just learn how to expand my business and make it better. And yeah.
Awesome.
Sorry, I was muted. Naomi, let's hear from you now.
Well, my name is Naomi, and I have a Summer Adventures in a Box business. It's a subscription box with activities for children in it, because since summer camps are closed this year, it's not quite summer camp in a box, but it was based off that idea. I'm looking forward to learning about, I haven't really learned that much about sustainability, so I'm not quite sure what I'm looking to learning, but I'm just excited to learn about the interesting things.
Yeah,
Awesome.
totally.
Thanks. Oh no.
Did Amanda leave? Is she gone? Well, I guess we'll just carry on. Is there someone who hasn't gone yet? Caitlin? Is Caitlin gone?
Okay.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. I redo furniture and like wooden, metal, anything. And I'm really looking forward to just learning about everything.
Awesome. Thanks, Caitlin.
Awesome.
Okay, maybe we'll take just a second here to see if Amanda hops back on.
She texts me, so maybe we're just having. Oh, we got kicked off. We're going to start it up again.
Okay, I guess they're gonna. Oh,
so.
Oh, they're back. Okay.
Actually. Okay.
Hi guys. Yeah, it's Sue. We're having major
Sorry
problems
about that,
here.
guys.
So
We got cut out there.
Excellent. Okay.
Just give me a moment here. I'll get us reconnected.
Oh, no worries. Hold tight, everyone.
Okay, can everyone hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, did anyone else get kicked off just there?
I'm not sure.
Did it continue going?
We kept going.
We all stayed to see that.
Okay, so we got kicked off. So if you got a panic text from us, that's why. So unfortunately, things like this probably are going to happen. Like we said, the Wi-Fi here is we're asking a lot for this week. So thanks for keeping calm while we were all freaking out here. So yeah, let's just let's continue going. We didn't hear from Caitlin yet. So Caitlin, if you did,
we just kept going.
Oh, wow, rock. Okay, well then I'm gonna mute myself and we're good to go.
Okay, awesome. All right, now that we're over that little hump. All right, well, thanks for sharing, everyone. Hopefully you learned something interesting, and if you find that your question doesn't get answered or if what you're looking for doesn't get answered, feel free to ask questions about it at the end. Or if it fits in with something that we're talking about, obviously, like we said, just jump on in.
And if you're feeling like sustainability doesn't relate to your business in some way, like I promise you it does, we just have to find the ways that it does. So if you feel like, you know, it maybe because our business offers like products, maybe it's easier to see where we can be more sustainable, but I promise you there's so many ways in your business that you can be more sustainable, and we will narrow down on those. And
definitely.
Yeah.
We'll definitely try and tie in your guys's ventures here and do our best to do that. So
yeah, awesome.
All right, you want to take it on
so this
guy?
is just like some crazy facts when you think about it. When we were just doing some research, like some of this like blew my mind and broke my heart at the same time. So single-use product packaging makes up 1/3 of all trash. If you think about that, that is astonishing. Like that is a lot. Landfills are composed of 35% packaging materials. The way we produce, consume, and dispose of our products and our food accounts for 42% of North America's greenhouse gas emissions. You guys, that's crazy, and we have to do better. And I think that it's daunting in the beginning. And, you know, like sometimes we get caught in that place of like, oh, what difference can I really make? But if each one of us are committing to that, like our world would look so much different. So I encourage you to just like soak this in, and we are gonna narrow down some ways that you could be more sustainable in your business for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, crazy facts, and those play into every single one of our businesses, I think. Even if you're not using product packaging, every business does make waste. So even that just plays into all of this. And
even the way that you invoice your customers, are you invoicing them with paper? Is that necessary? Can you switch? Like there's so many, I mean, we're going to talk about this down the road, so I'm kind of butting myself, but like cutting down on the way that you invoice customers, there's so many advantages to it. In one way, everything is in one spot. Like who loses paper? The other day, that's the problem we had. We were delivering something to a customer and we couldn't find, like we did happen to write something down because we were at a market and we just had a pen nearby and we wrote something down and we lost the paper. Luckily, I remembered the address in my head, or else we would have been a little bit hooped. But yeah, so there's so many advantages to like going paperless, and we'll talk about that more. Brittany, you can go here, I think.
So we just kind of wanted to define sustainability for you guys, because you hear all these terms: sustainable, green, eco-friendly, ethical. What's the difference, and why are we using these terms to describe the way that we're running our businesses, or the way that we want to see the world? So sustainability is the avoidance of the depletion of natural resources in order to maintain an ecological balance, the ability to be maintained at a certain rate or level, or the ability to maintain healthy environments, social and economic systems indefinitely on a local and global scale. So while we're talking about sustainability today, I don't want you to just think that we're talking about cutting back on waste, or like not using plastic and things like that. It's so much more than that. Sustainability can also relate to like the longevity of your business. Is your business sustainable? Can it actually be maintained at a certain rate or level, as the second definition kind of states there? So I think that this green side of sustainability can play into the longevity of your business as well, and affects that. For example, going green or being more environmentally friendly can be expensive. And that is something that we have noticed.
It's daunting.
Oh, oops. Sorry, I got ahead of myself there. It's very daunting because, for example, and we're going to talk about this more because this is kind of like a big area where we're trying to improve. We use tape in our packaging. Tape's not environmentally friendly, in case anybody didn't know. Didn't even think about that until somebody asked us one time. So we have been looking into alternatives, and it's expensive. If you are not able to afford that bigger change, that's when you start to make those smaller steps towards being more green or eco-friendly, versus, sorry, lost my train of thought there. But yeah, I'm taking smaller steps to something that's actually going to be sustainable for your business, something that you can actually keep up with, I guess.
Yeah.
And Levi just asked a question.
Have you tried melted wax?
Yeah.
No, but we melt wax a lot, so we should.
Melted wax.
Yeah, like, you know when they used to like have like letters, and you'd send a letter and you'd like melt the wax and
yeah,
but
I
he's
see.
saying just use it as like glue almost.
Yeah,
it'd probably work.
Yeah,
we'll try it today. We're melting wax later. That's what we're gonna be doing all day, you guys, after this. So
yeah, that's an awesome idea.
This is the fun part of the day.
See, we can learn.
We'll try that, Levi. Thanks. Oh, he's got it right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know what? I think I actually have family who has one of those, so I can bum it off of them. All right. Just gonna close that. Okay, so next thing that I kind of want to define for you guys is green. Do you want to?
Yeah, so like the definition that we took and then we kind of adapted is green is used to explain basically anything that benefits the environment, from business practices to design and products, to pursue knowledge and practices that can lead to more environmentally friendly and ecologically responsible decisions and lifestyles, which can help protect the environment. And so something like, even so, like switching to your personal life, there's something that goes on, and it's called greenwashing in our society. And on the market, there's a lot of products that will like they'll say that it's a green product, and that you know, it's safe to have in your home, it's safe to have around your children, and then you like research this and it's not. So it's like you have to be careful, because we're almost like looking into like, I don't want to say that it's a fad, because obviously it's not, but like the way that we're marketing products.
Just because something says it's green and eco-friendly doesn't necessarily mean that it is.
Yeah,
basically.
definitely. Exactly.
A lot of these terminology and a lot of these practices in our society, especially in market, there's not a standard to it. So I could have looked into this a little bit better for the presentation, but I know that there are certain things out there on the market where you can say that it's green, but really it only has to pass 1 or 2 standards. So if it's non-toxic or like another kind of standard, I guess, then you can automatically put green on it. That's just an example. But I know like in the clothing industry, for example, a wool product, there's no standard for if they're going to put wool on it. So if it's 1% wool, they can say it's alpaca wool or like whatever, or sheep wool or whatever, and it's like 1% and the rest is like polyester. So that's the kind of goes for the same for these eco-friendly products that you do see out there. So if you're wanting to become more sustainable and more green or more eco-friendly, it really does take time and research, which again, like we were saying, it can be daunting. So that's another thing to play into the sustainability of your business. If it's a big change that's going to bring you a lot of stress and a lot of worry, then maybe that's not the change for you to make. Then you need at that time exactly scale down and make a smaller change.
Start small for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that kind of covers green. And then last we have eco-friendly. So eco-friendly, something that does not harm the planet, reduced, minimal, or no harm upon ecosystems or the environment. So eco-friendly is not necessarily benefiting the environment, but it's not harming it. So I don't know can you think of an example? Or, I mean, like there are clothing companies, for example, who, let's say they don't like throw away their clothes or whatever. It's like, okay, that's not directly harming the planet, but it's also not benefiting it because it's already produced and it's already been taking resources. So just a simple example, but all right. So we kind of wanted to tie your guys' personal lives into your business because this is super important and it does play a role in sustainability and being eco-friendly as well. So we just kind of had some general points here, like your personal life and practices always influence your business life. Whether that's sustainable or not, what you do in your personal life affects your business greatly. Whether it's your relations with people, the way that you live, the way that you interact with your community, all that kind of stuff. And then some advice that we could offer, like look at your personal life first and then implement into your business later, because it's always going to affect it. If you don't make a change in your personal life, it's not going to properly reflect in your business.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you have anything else to add to that?
No, I think it's just less daunting when you're starting in your personal life, and then it just kind of naturally flows into your business.
Yeah. And I mean, there's not as much risk when it comes to that, because like, let's be honest, if you're going to say that, for example, for us in the beginning, we were like, oh, should we put that we're sustainable in our Instagram bio? Just like something silly, but we didn't, because that's a risk. If somebody sees something that we're not doing perfectly, they can call us out for that immediately, right? I think applying something to your personal life first, seeing how it goes, and then working it into your business, that's a less of a risk, because you're going to be able to know if you can actually apply that and do that and say that you're doing that, right? Yeah. Does that make sense? Okay, so we have a couple more questions here. So our first question is, how does your personal life affect your business? This does not have to be sustainability. That's actually our next question. So if anyone just wants to hop on, unless Amanda and Ashley want you guys to each answer. If you guys just have an answer, you can hop on. But how does your personal life affect your business? Like, in a like not having to do with sustainability or eco-friendly stuff.
Yeah, and if you're not comfortable sharing, just like reflect on it on your own and really like really think about that.
So I'm not going to make anyone go, but if you would like to speak, feel free. I see that Levi just said something in the chat, so if you're more comfortable doing it on the chat, ask away or share with us.
Okay. Well, while you guys are thinking, or if nobody wants to say anything, that's totally fine. Levi just asked, do you consider yourself a subset of your business or your business a subset of you? I think
Levi, you got some deep questions.
Yeah, no, they're awesome.
It is awesome.
I think that, well, I can answer personally, but I think I know Janine's answer as well. I think that our business is a subset of us.
Definitely.
100%. Yeah. If it's impossible not to insert your own personal likes and dislikes or morals and beliefs into your company. So I think that automatically makes your business a subset of you.
Especially with what we're doing.
Yeah, totally.
Especially with the whole lifestyle portion of it. But I think like a really good example of that is like so our business started in November. I've known Brittany for a couple of years, but we did house tours on Instagram. And obviously our homes were established and they were the way that they were much before we started a business. And then we just did like some fun little like house tours on Instagram stories. And people were like, wow, like your guys' homes are like so similar and your brand comes out through your homes. And that was interesting because obviously that has all been established way before we ever became a business. So I think that just goes to show you that, yeah, like our business is like a product of like, or that our brand is a product of our life and how that we live and like how similar our branding plays into like our own aesthetic and everything like that.
Yeah, definitely. And even just to apply it to some of you guys, like I think it was William with the lawn service. Is that right?
Yeah, and mules.
Yeah, and mules. But I think that even people think if I don't have a product, how does my personal life play into my business? When William goes out, the way that he's conducting himself with these customers and the way that he's putting pride into his work and stuff like that, that is you being reflected in your business. So again, your business is a subset of you, the way that you even conduct what you're doing, the way that you speak with your customers. Yeah, right there, that's you in your business. So awesome question, Levi. And if you guys have any other questions about that, like feel free. I'll keep the chat up. Okay, well, we'll move on to the next one. So sorry guys,
there's a lot going on
yeah, there's a lot going on. Okay, so what do you do in your personal life to be sustainable? I would love if a couple people could answer this because I'm super interested to see if any of you guys have any like sustainable or green practices in place in your personal lives already, because we might be able to offer advice on how to implement that into your business. And obviously if nobody feels like answering, that's totally fine, but even if it's a small thing, we'd love to hear it. Yeah, definitely.
There is an app for the town of Stony Plain, and you can well, it's basically, I first got it because it's a reminder of garbage day. That's how much of not an adult I am and I need reminders. But then I figured out that it also gives you like the app is so cool. You can go in there, you can flip like a piece, like say you bought yogurt from the grocery store. On the bottom of the yogurt container is usually, well, always a number with a little triangle around it. You type that number in and it tells you whether it can be recycled or not. Like, I'm kidding you. I'm not kidding you, I guess. This was like mind-blowing to me because there were so many things that can be recycled and so many things that couldn't be recycled that I thought could. And that was just something, oh, we got a question here. That was just something small in my life that I started doing. I'm going to read that.
And it makes a big difference. Yeah.
Not to be on screens too much. We don't watch much. all screen free. Oh my god, I love Naomi. Yeah, totally. So we're both educators. So like, I am very passionate about no screens early on, definitely, but limited screen time. So I am with you, and I love that. That's amazing. Business completely waste free to the customers at the moment. That is awesome. Oh, I love that.
And obviously, as time goes on, you might have some struggles with that, keeping it completely waste free. But
and that's
if
okay.
not,
like just you, yeah, like you. The oh my goodness, that was bad. You are always going to be evolving as a business, and that's okay. Like it's okay to not have it all together. It's okay to still be learning. But you guys are on the right path. Like this is awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll share a little bit about myself. I'm a photographer, so I'm a service-based company. So when also, if anyone doesn't know, Janine is my sister, so that's my connection there. So when Janine got into her sustainable lifestyle and her minimalist lifestyle, I was like, how as a photographer can I be there? And I didn't think I could, because I show up, I take your photos, and I leave, and that's it. Well, that's not just it. There's more to it. But I got thinking, like, what can I do differently? And honestly, a big thing that I did for myself was I invested in a website to deliver your photos without needing a USB, because my original form was going to the client, meeting with the client, giving them a USB, and I always wrapped it in this little paper, and I stamped it, and I put little annoying confetti everywhere. And I stopped doing that because I'm like, first of all, this is costing me so much money. I can't afford buying these, $10 bags for every customer I have. I can't afford stuffing this with confetti, and I'm sure it's super annoying to everyone. So that's the way I made a change. And also, it's just like, that makes one less trip for me to start up my vehicle and go meet with someone. So yeah, I would definitely agree with the girls that you might not think that you can make a difference or that you are making a difference, but in that little difference, I saved myself money, which you will learn is an amazing thing as an entrepreneur. Saving yourself money, do it anywhere you can. And I am creating less waste, because how many times have you got a USB and you've just been like, well, I don't even know what to do with this thing now. So that's my little tip.
What's even a USB? I'm just kidding.
Got scared
there.
They
are kind of going to the wayside, yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing, Amanda. That's actually something that I wanted to touch on for the photographers that are here. And I really like that you mentioned, I can't afford this. That is a part of a sustainability in a small business. If that's something that you can't keep, like, even though it wasn't like an eco-friendly thing, it's not something you can keep up with, so why are you still doing it? Getting that stuff out of the way is the longevity of your business. It's going to help it. Definitely. And then also, I love that you mentioned, like, it saved you a trip starting up your car. Like, that's something that we really don't think about. We do deliveries from time to time. We do try and limit it just because it is a hassle. It's
we'd be
really
running around everywhere.
Yeah, no, it's really nice for customer service, and it's great to like see your customers face to face, even if it is from like the sidewalk. But again, yeah, you're starting up your car, you're driving around everywhere. I know for me, I'll probably stop and get a Starbucks. I've got a plastic cup there with me now because they're not letting you take reusable cups or whatever. But it's just crazy how all that stuff like really does pile up and make such a difference, right? So thanks, Amanda. If anybody else wanted to share in the chat or say something, we'll wait like 30 seconds. If not, we'll move on. Okay, awesome. That wasn't 30 seconds, but if you want to hop in, just do it. So now we're going to move on to how you can begin to implement sustainable practices. So we've obviously been touching on this a lot just because it comes with the territory, and we're going to talk about it where we can. But the first thing that we kind of wanted to, and like, these aren't really like waste related and stuff like that. It's more simple things that you can do with your business to make a difference. So The first one is your why statement. So we shared our why statement at the beginning. The aesthetically pleasing, environmental transition, that statement that we kind of talked about, that's our why statement. So also known as a mission statement, which you've probably heard more commonly, explains what a business does and who it does it for. So I think Rebecca, she does photography, I believe. She said right at the beginning, she says, portraits, small groups, that's part of your mission statement. That's who you're doing your business for, right? So that was awesome. Oh, why statements are in, okay, cool. That's
check it out, guys. She said check it out.
And also, I hope everyone has their workbooks with them, because yes, there are things that are going to be mentioned that you can go to in your handy dandy workbook. So yeah, side note.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that it's in there. So we just kind of wanted to ask like a general question. Does your why statement include your environmental efforts? Obviously, this isn't something that will fit with every business.
Like it might not naturally fit in your why statement, and that's okay.
Yeah, definitely. Like for us, it obviously works because that is a big part of our business. It's one of our 3 major pillars, I guess. The community, sustainability, and spreading joy. But even if it's not in your why statement, if that's something that you have on your website or in your Instagram bio, or you do touch on it generally often, that's something that your customers are going to notice and hopefully like about you. I don't see why not, but just including that where you can to share. And then yeah,
definitely. And even just if it's important to you, it's going to reflect in your business.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. That goes ties in with the business life into personal life into business life. So yeah, that's just one simple thing. And then reflection. So looking at your why statement and then reflecting on your practices. If you guys want to write this down or think about it, or if you have any questions about it, I think it's really, really important. And we'll share some of our experiences with this as well. So for the reflection, taking a critical look at your materials, how you obtain them, how you use them, and how you dispose of the excess. I think a lot of us don't think of how we obtain our materials. Amazon's a click away, and like we're guilty of that too. How we're using them is kind of more of like the easy part, because if you are doing things environmentally friendly or more sustainably in your business, how you're using them is usually where that's reflected. And then how you're disposing of excess or of the waste that you have. But yeah. Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I just think like sometimes you have to think out of the box. Like I think about Naomi and her business, because it's the box business, right? Is that I got the right person?
Name.
Yeah. Okay, so like I was thinking about your business the other day, because I kind of gave we got Amanda to kind of like give us a lowdown of each of your guys' business, and then you guys did it again, but thanks. But like I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, how could that relate to her business? And I kind of thought like maybe there's like an option, and maybe this is already a thing, or maybe you're not interested in it, but maybe there's an option where at the end, like, you know, they could give the box back and maybe like get a discount on the next box or something, so that like maybe you're changing it up and you're cycling through it, or maybe that's not related to your business at all. I don't know, but like just trying to think, and maybe you can pop in, or you're frozen. Okay. I wasn't sure,
but yeah, just things like that. That's very out of the box.
Thank you. I see what you did there.
I didn't mean to do that.
Thank you. That's a great idea. Yeah, just like something like to encourage them, because like I know kids. I work with kids. They may eventually bore of something, and the excitement of getting something else. So like maybe like a buyback option or something cool like that.
Yeah. And I think that also relates to, we may have like very limited packaging or recyclable packaging, but that doesn't mean that the customer is going to recycle it or use it again, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where like an option like that, where you bring it back to where you got it for a discount to be reused, or for example, again, you, Naomi, for you to dispose of correctly, to recycle or whatever. Because I know for us, we have around our wrap sets, and it was in the first photo there. If you guys can't remember, that's totally fine. But we fold our wraps like in a rectangle, and then we have a piece of paper that goes around with a sticker on the front. That paper is obviously recyclable, but that doesn't mean that our customers aren't just throwing it in the garbage, where that plays into, yes, you may have recyclable material, but I think you should also try and limit it in case it's going straight into the trash, right?
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if it plays in here and it's not totally related, but like sometimes when you're on this sustainability journey, we'll call it journey because there's no, like, you're always going to be working on this. You might, when you're on this journey, you might miss out on things, and like that's okay. So like I'll just give an example on that. We've really been but we've been working on getting our products into like local little shops that we love. And we went to a shop that we loved, and the only way to have our beeswax products there, so like how we sell them right now, like Brittany said, is just with a cardboard piece here. You can see our product, but how the store, the only way that they would have our products in their store is if we had it in plastic packaging. And I mean, it's kind of ironic because here we have something that's supposed to save plastic, one-time plastic use, and we're covering it in plastic. So that was just like, we had to just kind of like miss out on that opportunity. Yeah, like it just, like, so you will, like there's times where you're gonna be like, oh darn, like I'm on this journey and I have to miss out on that, and it's okay. Like you don't have to sacrifice like your own business ethics just because, like, to make an extra couple bucks, because really what would it end up being? Just a couple bucks, really. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that, and that's an awesome example because yeah, I mean, we're talking kind of about like sustainability, like that's also not going to be a sustainable fit for your business if you're trying to be eco-friendly, because you are compromising what you have set out to do. And people notice that. Like that's like people do notice that. To share a little bit of my personal life as well, Adams & Co. is not our full-time gig. Like Janine said, she's an educator. I'm in my last year of getting my teaching degree. And right now I'm working at Campers Village. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a camping store. We carry a lot of brands, one that we're going to talk about a little bit later. We carry a lot of brands that are like, we're for the planet and we love being sustainable and being green and helping the earth. We get a shipment from them and every single piece of clothing is covered in plastic. And my coworkers and I, we noticed that. We're like, how is this okay? Like, this is like lying to the customer because
they're not going to see that packaging.
They're not going to see that packaging. We take it off and hang it up, and then it looks all pretty and like perfectly environmentally friendly, when really when we're buying that stuff, we're supporting them. Keep putting it in plastic, and it's one-time use plastic. It gets ripped open, and we at my store, we do reuse it for stuffing backpacks or like wherever we can. But again, that's something that
so I'll ask you a question. Is that a product you invest in?
I try not to, of course.
So
like, you know again, I mean? That's in your personal life, and I'm not perfect.
But of course, like that's like a product you might avoid now because you know that like it's,
and that's how your customers might see it. If you're putting out information saying that you're environmentally friendly, like us, and they go to a store and see this in plastic packaging, our credibility is gone, right? And that's something that can be daunting as well. We keep talking like it's daunting, but again, we're going to talk about taking small steps later because that's the best way to do it. And then another example, just because we're on this track, at my job also, we used to have plastic bags, and we're an outdoor store, and we really encourage people to get outside and take care of the environment and don't leave garbage at sites, whatever. But me and my coworkers were like, we have plastic bags, like what is going on? And we had customers notice too. And finally, this past fall, we switched to paper bags. So that was a win. But that even just shows, like, even these big businesses, right? Like,
can Campers Village sue us for talking about that?
No.
Don't tell.
Hey, it's like public knowledge. Come on. A thought to your paper wrap and it being recycled. What if?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know those rings that we have for teethers?
And you know what? Yeah, exactly. We used to make baby teethers that came with a wooden ring. and we don't make them anymore. So those are sitting in our storage room,
which we'll definitely use eventually for something.
And that's a use that we could use them
Levi's
for.
idea.
Thanks, Levi. That's awesome. Again, we can always learn from each other.
Yeah, and it is actually better to store them rolled up. So
yeah, cool. Thanks.
Levi wants commission.
All right. So a couple questions again, and like obviously we're not forcing anybody to answer. But one question that we kind of thought of was, where are you already implementing sustainable practices and where can they be improved? Even if you want to do this after and write this down, make a list of where you're already doing this and places, and then you'll notice places that you can grow. And then you can decide, is it sustainable for your business? Can you afford it?
Is it something I can do right now, or is it something that's going to take a year? And that's okay.
But yeah, I think it's really important to keep a list of your ideas and how you can make your business more sustainable and something that you can reflect on later. And then we've kind of talked about this as well, but aside from your environmental efforts, are your practices ensuring the longevity of your business? So we've been talking about that a lot as well, because that is sustainability. So when you're making that list, like I just said, but making sure it's something that you can actually physically keep up with or economically keep up with, or else it's a waste. Okay, and then I think this is like the last kind of like example for making your business more sustainable in ways that aren't packaging and stuff. Yeah, thanks, Sue. That's awesome.
Sustainability goal.
Yeah, awesome. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about was transparency. So we've kind of already done this here, like, or no, I don't even think we talked about it yet. But anyways, I'll talk about that after. So transparency, this can either be creating a transparency document, also known in this kind of world as a sustainability manifesto. Ooh. Very fancy, or being open and honest with your followers, supporters, and customers about your sustainability efforts. Mm-hmm. So that means recognizing your faults, and then nobody can use them against you also. Like that might sound kind of like, I don't know if that sounds sleazy or not, but like, I don't know. Like, you know, just like kind of like, I don't know, like bad.
No, but people love
honesty.
Like authenticity. Yeah, and honesty and like the rawness behind having a small business. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so for our example, like we don't have a transparency document or a sustainability manifesto. That's something that these larger companies usually do though, like a transparency document. But for us, like we've been very like vocal and open on our Instagram and our Facebook, because that's where we do most of our communicating with our customers and stuff, about the areas that we need to grow in and asking for recommendations from them, kind of like we've been doing today, and you guys have been giving us recommendations, which we really appreciate. But yeah, one example for us is, again, with our wraps, when we fold them around like this, we use tape, which is not recyclable apparently. So we've said that on our Instagram stories like multiple times, like, hey, we are trying our best. This is where we can learn to grow. And hey, if anybody has an awesome recyclable tape option that you could recommend to us, we'll take it. Yeah, exactly. No, I know, but I'm saying like, that's us on our Instagram stories, like being open and honest about that. That's that transparency. Yeah. But yeah, we may have a
solution. Sorry, I thought you were literally asking.
No, sorry. I was being more like hypothetical. If I was like in an Instagram story.
Do you think no one throws out rubber bands?
They break eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, that works. That's an option for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being open and honest. Like if you decide that you do want to be more sustainable in your efforts in your business and you have that room to grow, be honest with your customers. Just be like, hey, I have been learning a lot more about sustainability and being more eco-friendly. I'm going to try and implement this.
And then I think almost your audience changes a bit. Like it shifts, you know, like you kind of draw in people that sustainability is also important to them, right? And then you look at, you've already opened yourself up to a whole new market, right? Which is so important to be, to widen your customer base.
Yeah, definitely. So let's go to the next slide here. And then these are obviously more physical or like quick changes that you can make, I guess, taking action. So your packaging, which we've talked about a lot, business waste. So that could be like what your product comes in, or if you think of anything else, feel free. Ethical sourcing. So just because something's cheap, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's, well, if something's cheap, it might not be ethical. So that also has to play into your business, because again, your personal morals and beliefs play into your business, right? And then supporting local. Like I mentioned before, yeah, one of our pillars is community, and supporting local is part of being a part of a community. And when you're doing that, you're feeding into like your local economy, which is eventually going to turn around and help you. You're creating relationships with people in your community who could be a potential customer.
And when you're supporting local, like I'll give an example, like we obviously do a bit of fabric shopping. And so we tend, I'd say 95% of our fabric shopping is local. Is this the most economical way to do it? No, we end up paying more always. But it's so important to us to buy our fabrics locally, no matter the extra dollar amount that we're paying. But if you look at the reasons why that makes us more sustainable, for example, the 5% that we have not bought locally, we placed an order, and we placed that order in
April. And it got here like 4 days ago.
4 days ago. So like when basically the only reason we ordered online is because everything closed down, and we were still, our business had not closed down. We were still busier than ever during everything that happened the last couple months that I'm sure you're aware of. And so like the gas emissions that it would have took, like, I don't know whether that came, I'm sure it came by multiple sources, whether that was ground or air. And how long did we wait for that? Like
3 months.
3 months.
Like, it's just like obviously not going to work for us. It was a last resort, but.
For wax wrap, so we have used like clothes for like a second life, for example, we use for scrunchies. We haven't used them for wraps just because it is going to be then used on a food product. So we don't use.
It has to be 100% cotton, which is hard to come by.
Exactly. Yeah. And hard to know whether a material is 100% cotton.
Yeah. But yeah, good question. We definitely use it for scrunchies.
Yeah. We reuse a lot. Like a shirt, like I don't need it anymore. I cut it up.
Yep, exactly. And again, in your personal life, that's something too. Like, I cut up like old towels that are just kind of like dingy, or like old clothes that you can use for rags, or like I haven't bought paper towel in I don't know how long, because I just wash stuff, cut up old stuff, and then just wash it after. It's like a small step again that you can take in your personal life. But yeah, those are kind of our more taking action, and then the other ones were more like reflective, I guess. So
I know you guys are probably getting a little antsy. We've been talking a lot. There's like a little break coming up, promise.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Amanda, was there like a time that you wanted to do like a little break, or like during activity time?
This is like an activity, so we could give them like an activity and a little break, but we have slotted in time for like a whole separate break as well. So
let's do a break now. Do you want them to do the activity during their break, or do you want to give them a longer break, let them split it?
Let me just exit this here. I just want to see how much we do have left. Yeah, honestly, we could probably just do a break and come back for the activity, I think. Yeah. Because we're just about over half done. If that works for everyone.
So it is now it's 10:50. Let's do a 10-minute break right now. So for the students, this is your time. Turn your cameras off, mute yourself, or you can stay on unmuted. This is a time to ask questions, but if you need to run to the washroom, if you need to go get yourself a snack, a drink of water, please do so right now. We want to make sure you have the time to refuel your bodies and give yourself a little break.
There'll be question time too, so don't feel
So whatever you would like to do with your 10 minutes, your 10 minutes starts now. Let's come back at 11.
Thanks, Amanda.
Yeah, thank you. Brittany and Janine.
Yeah.
are you gonna share a little bit later about your fire starters?
Yeah. I never even thought of that.
Yeah. No, our one of a kind stuff on fire starters.
Yeah, you guys should definitely share that after the break, just because I think it's a great example of how you guys are using everything. You guys are welcome to take a break too. If you guys want to mute yourself, stop your screens. I'm going to keep my screen and everything running so I can answer any questions if there's anything. So
thanks.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone is here. I know it's still 4 minutes early, but I just want to test to make sure that everyone has this option. If you are here and you're hearing me, I would love to see a thumbs up in the reactions. So at the bottom of your screen, there's a reactions button. If you could just hit the thumbs up. Okay, Bo, I see you. Thank you, Bo. I see Levi. I see Jenna. I see Sierra and Cody. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure that you all had that option available and that it worked for you. So perfect. Thank you, everyone. Okay, it is 10:58, so 2 more minutes. Brittany and Janine, I'm gonna start your video again. Hi. Oh, you're just me. There you go. For the activity, is there anything that the students are gonna need? Is there anything that they're gonna have to do? Is there anything they should know?
If they have like their laptop, an iPad, or their phone, anything with internet access, you guys have that.
I was gonna say, is there anyone who doesn't, but they have to if they're on?
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah.
We do have one student on here who has to use her phone, so it's a little hard for her to toggle if toggling is needed. So as long as if you guys are kind of showing us mostly everything, we should be good.
Yeah, for the activity, so I don't know how that was going.
Maybe we need to do it together, like we just and if it's the one on the phone, maybe she just follows along.
Yeah. Okay, so if everybody's back and ready to get started, are we waiting for everyone to turn their?
Yeah, I want to see everyone. So if your webcam is off, I would like to see it on right now just so we can see you, make sure everyone's good.
We're just going to do an activity right away. So just
Okay, I see Levi, I see Naomi, I see Bo, I see Jenna. There's William.
This part's gonna be a little more interactive, so if you're feeling a little like sluggish, I know I have a hard time just listening to something for a while, but we're gonna get more interactive.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Cody and Sierra. I see you, Rebecca. I see you. I think I see everyone. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. Yeah, like we'd love to keep seeing your faces. So if you're not having to be on the device you're on, we would love for you to keep sharing your camera. And yeah, we're gonna jump right back into it. So Adams and Co, take it away.
I hope you all had a great little break. So we are going to talk first about a bigger corporation and company who is doing sustainability right. And then our activity will explain a little bit further, but basically we're also going to compare them to a smaller business that is doing some things
not really
right.
compare, but like
no,
but
but
talk about.
yeah, same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if your camera's on, raise your hand if you've heard of Patagonia.
Maybe we're too old.
I don't know. They were like
it's a very hip.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So again, into my personal life, working at Campers Village, we sell Patagonia. So it's just a company that I know a lot about, and I know I've even shared some stuff with Janine about them. Bigger company that's been around for a really long time. And we're gonna take a look at their website, but just to give you guys kind of the lowdown, they've always been quite a sustainable, eco-friendly business before it was like cool, you know, like obviously it's always been cool to care for the planet, but before there was this big movement, right? So we're just going to hop onto their website. We're going to take a little bit of a look into like their activism and how they practice sustainability and eco-friendly practices, and then we'll do an activity. So I first wanted to share their why statement because we talked about that being somewhere that you can really share your beliefs about sustainability.
Yeah.
So theirs is straight to the point. We're in business to save our home planet. So that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And I guess you could say like, because a mission statement or a why statement, like we said before, is what you're doing and who you're doing it for. Saving the planet, I guess. So we're just gonna hop onto their website and just let me know if everyone can see the website here. Yeah? Okay, awesome. It's a little bit awkward with all this on my screen. Sorry, guys. So yeah, as soon as you get to their website, you don't see product right away. Shop is here. And again, like, we're not telling you to do this. It's just an example. So the first thing that comes up is a little film or like video that they've done talking about an Indigenous group who's fighting to protect their future, and how Patagonia is helping them and how we can help them as well. And then they have this little activism tab. So again, there is that mission statement that they have. We're in business to save our home planet. And they explain that a little bit further. Like, we aim to use the resources we have, our voice, our business, and our community to do something about our climate crisis. So again, they're not talking about physical resources or physical actions. Their voice, their business, and their community. Those are three things that we all have access to, right? We have our voices, we have our businesses, and we have the communities that we're in. So I just kind of wanted to talk about a couple things that they do. Let's see if it's on. Yeah, so obviously this is not something that everybody can do, but they have what is called an earth tax. So 1% of all of their sales actually go back into environmental nonprofits or organizations that are sustainable, into getting to, what's it called? Like protests or just any sort of like activism event that they can actually be there and show their support. They have like all these awesome stories about their activism. All of their reps are environmental activists. So again, showing where their priorities lie. And you can go read about these people. They're super cool. They do a lot of awesome stuff like climbing or surfing, or they're just people who work for nonprofits. Super awesome. And then they also have Patagonia Action Work. So I love this part of their business. You can basically fill out like a form or send them an email with like an event that you're having, or if you're going to be going to a protest or ideas that you have, you can send to them. And they have funded events. They have shown up to protests. They have really played a part all over the world in living out their mission statement, like physically being there and doing it, along with using their voice, their business, and their community, like they said before. So yeah, and actually this is one brand at my work that also doesn't send stuff in plastic, so that's awesome. And a lot of their materials are like recycled polyester, recycled cotton. They actually have a line that is made out of plastic water bottles that they've like grinded down so thin and fine that they work into the cotton to give those a second life. It's just like really cool. So if you have like more time to go and look at more of their stuff, they have a lot of videos and stuff like that. So it's not like a lot of reading. But yeah, they're just a super awesome bigger business that is definitely playing their part. Let me skip right to the end. Right. All right. Do you want to explain the activity?
Yeah, so we were hoping that you guys could take a couple minutes to go and find like a small business, whether it doesn't particularly have to be local. I mean, that'd be a huge bonus. But if you could find a small business that does have some sort of commitment to our environment, or they're making strides visibly on lowering their impact, their footprint, and then we'd love it if you brought that business back to us and we could kind of talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, and if you find like their social media or website, we can even pull it up on the share screen here and we can look through it together. So we'll give you guys a couple of minutes to just go search and try and find a business. Like Janine said, it doesn't have to be like local or anything. And if you can't find like a small business, if you find like a bigger business, like something like Patagonia, feel free to use that as well.
Don't use Patagonia.
But yeah, don't use Patagonia. But yeah, just so we can kind of see some other businesses that are doing this and we can get some more ideas for ourselves and you guys. So yeah, we'll give you guys a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so let's take 5 minutes, everybody. If you would like to stop sharing your screen for this time being, for the 5 minutes, do so. We want you to do some research on your own, and when we come back, I want everyone to share theirs with us. So yeah, whatever you find. And Ashley and I are also going to take part in the activity, so we will see you all in 5 minutes at 11:13, if my math is correct. Math's not my strong. We'll see.
Maybe more than 5 minutes, Amanda?
Yeah, we can do more than 5 minutes. Do we want to do 10 minutes?
A lot of pressure. 5 minutes.
Okay. No, we can do another 10-minute break. So let's see everyone back at 11:18.
Perfect. Good math.
Hi, Levi. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're looking for a business that has some sort of sustainable element. So it could be any sort of business, but you're just looking for something that has that element of recycling or reusing or any of the sustainability elements that have been talked about.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, thanks.
I totally missed what you said there. Sorry.
Oh, it's whatever. But it's like simply Amish is a founding member of the Sustainable Furnishings Council, where green before green was in. All of our furniture is blanket wrapped for shipping, no cardboard packages, no and our workshops.
Actually, Amanda, anyone?
Sorry, we were discussing our companies. Ashley and I are trying to find the better company.
Okay, I was just answering a question from Levi because he was a little confused about what he should be doing. This is Sue. I've done that now.
All good. Thank you, Sue. Okay, so it is now 11:18. I can see most of you. So if your webcams are currently off, if you are able to, I would love for you to turn it back on. Yeah, so Sue asks, is everyone doing okay? Let's just take a quick little check-in. Is everyone good? How are you feeling? This is a lot of information, but this is good information. So I see a thumbs up from Naomi. I can't see everyone at one time. I see a thumbs up from Cody and Sierra. This is good. This is good. Thumbs up. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are doing good and feeling okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so Brittany and Janine, if you want to take it away.
Yeah. Well, we want to make sure that there's time for everybody to share theirs. So I know that we did one. I know that Amanda and Ashley also did one, but we would love if you guys would go first. Is there anybody who wants to go first? And just say the name of the business that you found and just a little bit of a description of how they are implementing sustainability.
I found a business. It was called Luke's Toy Factory, and it says that they make sustainable toys with maple sawdust, walnut shells, flax fiber, and other end-of-life organic materials. And so consequently, they were able to use 30% less plastic than traditional plastic toys by incorporating these materials.
Awesome. We are big fans of wooden toys. Like that's my goal one day, to have all wooden toys, but in my classroom I can implement that already. Huge fan. Love it.
That's awesome. And it's great that it kind of relates to your business as well, Naomi. Cool.
That's super
awesome. Yeah. Anybody else feel like going second?
Caitlin said she can go.
Okay. Yeah.
So I found Young Living. My sister works for them, and she says they are trying to use non-harmful products, like their sunscreen. It is aquarium life friendly, so when you go swimming in the ocean, it's non-harmful. And any plant they use, they will replant it afterwards, so it's reusing all the time.
Yeah, totally.
That is awesome. I use Young Living, and I honestly didn't know that, so that's super cool.
They do amazing things for our environment for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Caitlin. Anyone want to go third? Yeah, definitely.
The business that I found is called From Another Edmonton, and it's a small group of guys who resell used vintage clothes and vintage clothes that actually have some value to a lot of people. And so that's how they actually get their margins, while still using very cheap clothes for their products that are already used. And they also use only paper bags every day.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's cool. That's cool that it's specific to males, because I think there's a lot of that in like the female market, but that's cool that it's in the male market.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that we don't think about every day too, right? Like thrifting and just giving everything like a second life, as we like to say. So awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That was awesome. Who wants to go next?
Okay, Ashley's gonna go here.
Okay, so I found an Instagram. So it's a local Edmonton company. It's called Earth Warrior. I can link their Instagram in the chat box there. So they focus on everyday items and they make them into zero waste. So almost everything's reusable. They have bamboo straws. They have toothbrushes made out of bamboo. All their cloths are reused from old cloth. They make stuff out of old towels. They make bamboo lids, it looks like. They make masks, they make soap dispensers, and all of it's from things that were already made before. So they're repurposing everything, and everything is zero waste. So that's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. It sounds cool. Anybody else feel like sharing?
Yeah, I can go. So one of the companies that I thought of was 10 Tree. So it's a clothing company that for every piece of article that is bought by the distributor, they plant 10 trees in place of that product. So by buying their clothing, which I mean, I would have to do more research into it, but I believe their clothing itself is quite sustainable. They turn around and they plant 10 trees. So that's awesome. And I mean, to hit the market that they've hit, which is kind of like the younger generation, kind of the generation that I guess ourselves are in, I think that's pretty cool to be doing that on a sustainable level. So yeah. Oh, sorry, you go.
I was just going to say 10 Tree is a really awesome company who's like pretty transparent with their practices. And I'm happy that someone kind of mentioned another big one as well, because we can think that big corporations like aren't really doing their part, but some definitely are in the right direction. And I can attest that 10 Tree uses very, very, very limited packaging. Really all they do is like wind up their clothing and tie it with like a piece of like paper that would have been in the packaging. Like for like 3 boxes, I think we fit it all into like a mason jar.
Wow.
For like what their packaging was in like 3 huge boxes of clothing. So they are definitely a company that is walking the walk as well as talking the talks. So.
Yeah. And Amanda just said, so 10 Tree uses wood pulp fiber, recycled polyester, organic cotton, LJ foam, and hemp fiber for their products. So sounds very sustainable. So thank you, Amanda.
Business, if you just want to like go browse around on their website, really, really cool, super interesting stuff that you like would never think of.
Yeah. Okay, so William also shared, he's having some mic issues, but he found that IKEA and their products, more than 60% of them are based on renewable materials, and another 10% contain recycled materials. So again, IKEA, big one. That's a big one there. So that's awesome.
Love IKEA, and I did not know that. So that's awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, William.
Okay, cool. We'll put one last. Anybody else?
Yeah, I looked up Value Village. They're a for-profit thrift store. And I actually found it pretty interesting that it says on their website that they save 700 million pounds of items from landfills annually. And when you buy used jeans, you actually save 6,814 liters of water, which is 10 years of drinking water for the average person.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's another thing that it's totally overlooked, I think, among like everyday life is water use in creating the things that we are consuming, like clothing and like even like certain food products and stuff like that. Like it's actually crazy when you sit down and like really do the research on it. So thanks, Rebecca. That's awesome. Awesome. All right.
I know that Bo had to step out for a second. Bo, if you're with us now and you were able to find one, if you wanted to share that with us.
We can share ours. Yep, we'll just share ours. Okay.
Yeah, we have them as well.
We actually both purchased from this store. It's called Replenish. It's here in Edmonton, and they strive for like bulk items, mostly related to like health, hygiene, home cleaning products. They actually have quite a variety, but you can purchase like, for example, if you had a container, like let's just say a pickle jar, that's really random, but a pickle jar, and you brought in that pickle jar and you filled it up with conditioners. If you want to put conditioner in a pickle jar, but that's the only thing I can think of.
A glass jar.
A glass jar. You could fill it up, or you could also buy a one-time like an amber glass jar from them, and then you can also bring it back and get your money back. But anyways, they have like conditioner, soap. They have pods for your laundry, pods for your
dishwasher.
Thank you. And
That's all
so,
environmentally friendly.
Yeah, it's pickled conditioner. Yeah, sorry. But it's really awesome store to check out. I think that they have started really, really small, but I think they're expanding. I saw on their Instagram the other day. So we can link that down here, but it's just called Replenish in Edmonton. And during the pandemic, they were delivering right to your door, which was kind of great customer service. And I took advantage of that because it's in a really, is it on the south side or something? A side I never go to.
Yeah, it's in a really weird spot.
So yeah, they can come to me. But no, anyways, it was awesome.
Can I just share something quick? I just wanted to mention that maybe you don't see right now specifically fit, maybe whether it be financially, maybe you're just starting out, you aren't 100% sure how to make that change for yourself. Even just supporting these companies and businesses who are sustainable is making a huge difference. So for example, Janine making the switch to using conditioner that she pumped into her own glass bottle is different than going to Walmart and picking up a bottle of conditioner that has excessive plastic. So even if you don't see fit for your own business, you are able to make those small changes in your lifestyle, which is I think what they're trying to teach us here, what they've done a great job of teaching us of. So yeah, I mean, it's these little changes, you can fit them into your own lifestyle. I mean, I like to share quite a bit of my personal life on my photography page. So I mean, if I were to go to Replenish, I would probably share that on my photography page, and then I can show my people, like these are my efforts. So
totally. Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, and yeah, even just supporting more more environmentally friendly and sustainable businesses, that is like taking a step. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Maybe not consciously, but something we've done is we've switched to kind of like a smaller coffee shop, a more local coffee shop, and there's so many ways that has helped our economy. And yeah, definitely.
Yeah, any recycling, things like that. Totally. Thanks so much. All right. Well, we hope that even those who didn't share found a business that they were able to learn something from or take some inspiration from. And
just know that these guys are out there and they're doing great things.
Yeah. And are still successful.
Yeah. So like honestly, go and follow those businesses on Instagram. Like keep them, like they can keep you motivated and be your inspiration. I know that all the people that we follow on Adams & Co are people that in some way or another they inspire us, or we there's something about their business that just sparks something in our own. So yeah, definitely surround yourself with businesses that you want to be more like.
Definitely. All right, so another question. We're quite interactive, guys. I guess we kind of answered this, but if anybody does want to like just add something in the chat, what sustainable practices are you currently implementing in your business? Mm-hmm. I know that we did kind of talk about that. So yeah, if anybody wants to put something in the chat, I won't make you come on and talk, but if you want to share it with everyone.
Maybe it's something you didn't even realize you were doing. You weren't doing it exactly maybe to be more sustainable, but you're like, oh wow, that is already an effort that I'm already making.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the best when you don't have to really think about it.
Yeah, and then our follow-up question for that was, what areas of your business can be improved in relation to what we've been talking about today? I would love to see some answers to this one since we haven't really talked about it yet. This is almost like a, what did you learn today? And if you can apply anything to your business that you can think of right now.
And it is like, I think we truly believe that it's a strength to know where your weaknesses are in your business. That's like a superpower, to be able to identify those and work on that is amazing. So be vulnerable with us. Let us know what areas you can improve on, because we want to hear. And maybe we have some ideas. Maybe other people have some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
See, you guys can be like ahead of the times.
Yeah, so Amanda said that she's starting to have a collection of props.
So you don't have to purchase something that's that's something I never thought of.
Yeah,
definitely. And then you get so much use out of that.
Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, definitely. Like we said, everything's always evolving and changing, and we can always find room to grow. So that's really awesome that you can recognize that, Amanda. I know for us, like our tape, like we've mentioned a million times before, but also I would love if we could, like we do order some stuff from Amazon. I would love if we didn't have to order anything from Amazon.
Definitely.
And stick to more local places and just everything that comes along with Amazon, like shipping and all that crazy stuff. So
yeah, definitely, Naomi. Like those don't really have a life on them. Those are definitely kind of like one use
packaging.
Yeah, and you're not going to get a lot of use out of them. So that's awesome. And that's like somewhere, like when we talked about making sacrifices, like that might be a sacrifice you have to make, because obviously those are going to be like the cheapest way to go, I guess, up front. But is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to last for your business? Especially if you want to do that, like that, maybe look into like where they can give it back. Yeah.
Levi, let's see.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, Levi. Really great idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We know a lot about 100% unbleached cotton if you ever want to, if that's a route you want to go, because we use that in quite a lot of our products, and we know where to get it for a great price.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100% cotton would be probably the most breathable
definitely
thing that would still protect your product for sure. Yeah, great question, Sue. So Sue said, what about those that have to travel to their customers' homes? How can you be sustainable there? So anyone, our lawn service friends possibly are doing that, or our photographers driving to locations and stuff like that. Have you guys implemented anything, or can you think of any ideas that would possibly help make that more sustainable? Awesome. Thanks, Caitlin.
Jenna, William, Rebecca, even Caitlin, do you guys have any? Oh, Caitlin, I see you there. I reuse wood that's already been used, so I'm not buying more and killing more trees. Yes, so Caitlin actually, she takes old wooden furniture that is being used and she repurposes it. So
totally up to
yeah, for sure. That's definitely bringing something back to life. So that's awesome. I'm going to call on somebody. Let's see, Jenna. How do you think, being someone who provides a service where you kind of need your vehicle to drive back and forth, how do you think you could kind of build that sustainable practice into your business?
Honestly, I'm not really sure. Like, I have lots of houses like by each other, so do those all at once, and then you aren't making as many trips. But
totally.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm like, she doesn't have an answer. That's what I was gonna say. So that is
a hard one though.
Like, no, it is hard, but yeah, definitely. Why drive somewhere on the opposite side and then go back? Yeah, if you're in an area.
Yeah, just do all those houses at once or whatever, and then you're not making so many trips.
Definitely.
Awesome. Rebecca, do you have any ways that you could kind of build that into your practice?
I think if I was doing photography services for someone that's outdoors, I could make sure that I'm not destroying the environment or leaving a trace.
Oh, you guys are good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And that's, again, something that we like. I wouldn't have thought about that if I was to give you a suggestion. So that's really amazing.
Yeah, that's a great one. I actually drove by a farmer's field the other day, and it was so sad. There was a sign that said, "Please don't trespass. We just I don't know. I'm not a farmer. I don't know the terms, but they just laid their crop, and for someone to maybe think, oh, this is a great spot for photos. Like, you might, your little photo session that might be 30 minutes might do a lot of damage for someone. So that's a great one, Rebecca.
Yeah, just respecting
land,
wildlife and land for sure.
And leaving it maybe even better than when you found it. Like maybe while you're
see some
taking some photos, you're picking up little garbage on the way back. I know that's not glamorous, but that would be an awesome effort. So that's something to look into, definitely, like composting, or what are you doing with the grass after you're cutting it? I know that most if you're cutting in town anyways, there is options obviously for your green bin. You should be utilizing that if your customer, that's really what a green bin, I mean, that's part of what a green bin is for. No one's filling a green bin completely with compost, like food compost anyways. So that really is what your green bin is for. So
yeah. And William, I noticed that you said like driving equipment around, it's very difficult to make that environmentally sustainable. Yeah, totally. But like what you're doing is important work, and we're not asking anybody to completely change their business or anything like that, but just noticing places where you can improve. And William, even if that's in your personal life, or making sure that you bring like a travel mug to work with you, or whatever it may be, like we totally understand that you guys can't just uproot everything and like be a different business or anything like that. There's a place in sustainability for everybody. So yeah, thanks so much for sharing,
awesome.
everybody. Those were awesome.
Chat.
Yeah. So we did that. Okay. Yeah, another little conversation that we could have. We have 20 minutes left. I think we have like a couple more slides and then some time for questions. So this is kind of something that we have been talking about a lot throughout the presentation today, hesitations and things that can be a little bit daunting. I know, like we've mentioned that for us, like the economical side of things, the realistic side of obtaining these products, and the reality of making sure that you're taking small steps and not taking on too much in an effort to make sure that your actual business is sustainable and that it is something that you can keep going. But sorry to make you guys answer another question. Does anybody want to share any like hesitations they have when it comes to becoming more sustainable, or anything that like specifically seems difficult or daunting? I know William said that he may find it difficult in his business, but there's always room for it. But if anybody wants to share like a specific example or anything. Yeah, Levi, I see your question in the chat there. I'll leave that to the end too, because I know you had another question from the beginning as well, and we'll answer those at the end, definitely.
Hi guys, sorry about that. I think we're coming back. Anyone see the Amandas? Yeah, okay. All right, we're back.
All good. Yeah, do we have any examples of things that have been
hesitation?
Like have we been hesitant to do, or things that we are still hesitant to do?
We were we were still learning our way around like making it, like in the beginning when we were like, oh, we can't say that we're totally, because like maybe in this area we're not quite like there yet, as far as like saying that we're a sustainable business. So I think just like
there is room for backlash, maybe, I guess is what you're trying to say. Like we're scared if we say that we're a sustainable business, but there may be a place where we can grow or improve, people calling us out on that. But I think that is where it's very important to be transparent with your customers. Like we said earlier, the transparency thing, saying, hey, I'm doing my part here, here's somewhere else I can work on, but this is a journey that I'm on, and like we said, it's always changing, always evolving. I was gonna say something else. Yeah, I think that's our biggest thing, just like actually saying that we're sustainable, and like the economic cost sometimes, like if there's like a product that we want to do but we can't really do it completely sustainably right now, we may just like put that on the back burner till we find like a better way to do it, or well, if you guys just want to reflect on that whenever, I think it's a really good practice to keep track of what's possibly scaring you, what's kind of holding you back, so that you can grow from that. So just keeping any hesitations that you have in any aspect of your business in mind, and hopefully growing from that. So we've said this a couple of times, but small steps, like beginning your sustainability journey, as we just said, can be intimidating, especially in business. And we've said this already as well. In your personal life, there's not as much risk, so it's an easier place to start. And we recommend that's where you do start. But in business, it can be scary, like we just said, backlash or not being perfect. It's a scary thing to do for sure. So our advice, if we could give you any, is start small in your sustainability journey. Identify those places where you can easily make a change and then work your way up to larger applications and bigger ideas, I guess.
Totally.
And then again, as we said, it's always changing, always evolving, especially in the environmental world, as we find out more information or as we
new technology,
yeah, totally. And we're just always learning more, right? Like there's always room for growth. I don't think you're like any business is ever going to be 100% perfect. There's always room for improvement, and I think that's a really important mindset to have to facilitate or foster like a sustainable business longevity wise, like understanding that you can always grow.
Yeah, I'm in the chat. How do I move up?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for that comment about the equipment. I want to go back to that for a moment because I've just been thinking about that. Yeah. So back to what William said about driving equipment. Maybe like in your sustainable efforts, maybe it's not so much about like the equipment itself, because you can't really you can't take that out of the equation for your business. That doesn't work because that is what your business is. But I look back into like other lawn care services, and I look back to like lawn care services leaving either a little card on your doorstep or in your mailbox. Is that a good way to get your business out? Maybe it's effective in that way, but the paper usage for that is a lot. Or I think about like how you invoice your customers. I'm not sure if you do that maybe online or if you do that like with a paper option, but I'm just trying to think of ways.
Yeah, like that's an awesome comment actually, Janine. Like your marketing, your invoicing, all that kind of stuff completely plays into your business. So obviously paper is recyclable, but again, like we said, you don't know what your customer is going to do with it once they get it.
I actually don't think a lot of people recycle, which is astonishing to me, but I don't think they do.
Yeah, definitely. It's not
like I look on Recycling Day on my street and there's not a lot of blue bags out there.
Yeah, definitely. Also, this is kind of like off topic, but not because we're talking about marketing stuff. I know that you actually can get, like if you're looking for a more sustainable business card and stuff like that, you can get some that people can plant. And it turns into like it has like seeds in it, and they can put it in their garden or in like a little pot, which I think is like super cute. And for you lawn service businesses, that could be really, really cool. So I would encourage you to look into something like that. And that's an amazing way that you can evolve in your like sustainability practices. I would definitely look into that. Okay. So Janine just found a little quote that we just wanted to share because it's inspiring. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. So even if that's small, big, you're making a difference, and it's your job to decide what happens with that choice, I guess.
Yeah.
Something that Amanda, we're basically done besides questions, but something that Amanda kind of brought up during the break, and I really don't know why we didn't think about this. I'm actually like embarrassed that we didn't think about this. I'm just gonna stop sharing my screen for a second here.
Is it on our website? Or is it on our website?
It's not on our website. So sorry guys, I just want to pull something up to show you guys. It's another way that we, the charger should be in my backpack. Another way that we do our part in giving things like a second life and reusing things. Let me just see if I can find it here.
Can you just pull up our Instagram?
I don't know if it's on our Instagram. Here we go. Okay, and I'll share my screen with you guys again. Sorry. Okay, can you guys all see this photo? that says doing our part. Okay, cool. So on the left here, so when we make our wraps, we actually cut the edges so that they have this kind of like scalloped edge.
Which prevents fraying, so longevity of our product.
Yeah, exactly. It prevents fraying, but we end up with a lot of these scraps that are 100% cotton covered in wax. Sorry guys, I'm also just plugging in my laptop here.
She's dying.
Oh. Is it gonna reach? Can we do the one behind the couch maybe?
I'll grab an extension.
Okay. Sorry. But yeah, we have all these scraps that come from our wrap sets. And one thing that we actually found to be really cool is they are amazing fire starters. So they're covered in wax, they're 100% cotton, you light them on fire and they actually burn for a really long time. And I've gone camping like every weekend this summer, I think, somehow. And I use them every single time and it starts a fire so easily. So that is one way that we're using those scraps and making sure that they get a second life. And then on the right here, we have some scrunchies. These scrunchies are, as you can see, they kind of like match the patterns of the wax wraps here. So when we cut up our fabric, we sometimes have like awkward strips or just like bits and pieces left over. And one thing that we really strive to do in our business is have zero fabric waste. So these scrunchies aren't part of our normal collection, but we call them our one-of-a-kind scrunchies so that we can use that fabric and sell it to somebody so that they can have a scrunchie. And some people like having something that's unique and something that nobody else has. But that's just another way that we are like eliminating our waste and having zero fabric waste, which is a really big thing for us.
Textile waste is a huge problem, and so when we say we literally throw nothing away, we throw nothing away.
Yeah, and the super cool thing about their fire starters is they actually give it out as like, that's their thank you. So that's like, thank you for supporting our business. Here's like a quick little, and they have a super cute little like instructions with it. So that's like to me, that was like a really good like a business move to show your appreciation, while still that wasn't something that they had to go out of their way to make. That was something that they already had. So
yeah, and again with like the business cards that you can plan, like thank you cards or anything like that you could give to your customers that could be more sustainable. It doesn't even have to be something that you could plant and grow, but just like maybe something that's like promoting sustainability as some sort of thank you if you do that for your customers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have 10 minutes left. I'm going to bring up the chat because I know that Levi had a couple questions and it looks like there are some other chats here. Okay, so I will answer Levi's questions and then Sue said something.
Yeah, so we did a
this is answering Sue's question or comment.
Yeah, we did a live sale and we have a couple of products that were like maybe just not quite up to like our quality, our standards for when we put out a product, and we sold them for like a fraction of the cost at our live sale, and I think almost everything went.
Yeah.
So that was a good way to use materials for sure.
Yeah, so definitely, Sue, like that's something that I think anybody who's selling any sort of product can definitely implement into their business. Just sort of like a warehouse sale, like they call it sometimes, or like whatever you want to call it. But yeah, still making sure that those products are going out the door and that they're not a waste.
Levi says the wax box helps for buffing and polishing. Well, I would not know that, but now I do.
Yeah, and also like Levi mentioned a couple of awesome tips there for like waxed fabrics. Also, if you have trouble opening like a jar or something,
yeah, lifesaver.
Amazing. Like I haven't asked anybody to open a jar for me since I've started making these things. I can do it myself now. Okay, so I kind of wrote down Levi's first question, but I'm gonna go back and see if I can find it here.
Well, his first question,
product releases.
Yeah, he said it in person, so it wouldn't be on the chat. But yeah, he talked about when, and maybe pop in here if our question isn't quite the same, Levi, but I think you said, when is it a good time, or when you know when to release a new product? Is that correct?
Okay.
Yes. So I guess with that is like, I don't know, I was kind of thinking about that this whole time we were doing this, and I was kind of thinking that we just kind of, I don't say we know, but like we definitely don't release release products one by one, I would say, at this point and where we're at with our business. And we build it up. Like we'll spend the 2 weeks before releasing a new product saying like, we are releasing a new product, and people will be like, they'll try and like slide into our DMs and be like, what is it? And we're like, we're not telling. Like just to build that excitement. But
I also would say, like, if you find that your product, like business is kind of slowed down a little bit, it could be a good time to introduce something new.
Yeah. If you have like so we'll do like in-person markets, so sometimes we'll like release it at the market. So like if you want to see what our product is, you got to come to the market. Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, basically to sum it up, like if you find that things aren't selling, try and give people something new, get them excited about it.
Ask them what they want. We've done that before. Like, what do you guys want to see? And then we go do it.
Yeah. As like an incentive. Customers.
She literally just said exactly what we said at the same time. That's funny.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't be afraid. No, sorry. Don't be afraid to do like, especially this relates for Levi, I think specifically, but like do custom work. We're definitely like, we're willing to go out of our way to give a customer something that she wants or he wants uniquely. Like we have a lot of customers with like very thick hair, and so scrunchies, like regular scrunchies, just don't work for them, and so we've offered to like go in and make the elastic bigger, and they just appreciate that. And although that's just like one sale, one customer, she's gonna remember that and she's gonna keep coming back.
Definitely. And then Levi also asked,
no, you went past, just thought for
oh, I see.
Time for money. Honestly, I think this is different for us because we don't do a whole lot of trading, just because there's 3 of us involved. I think it's a little bit different because there's 3 of us that get a say in the business, whereas if you're running your business on your own, maybe you have more say in like whether you're going to trade something. I guess maybe elaborate on that. Like, what are you trading?
Trade time for money, but long term it is more sustainable to trade money for decisions or ideas.
Like, are you going to someone and ask, like, trading a product for, like, leather that you're going to need in the future, or?
Well, I can kind of maybe speak on where that's coming from. Like, I know for myself, there have been many times that someone makes candles, and I happen to have a candle obsession. So she reached out to me and said, I love your work. And I said, well, I love your candles. And she said, well, do you want to kind of swap our services for each other? So I'm going to get a whole bunch of candles and she's going to get a photo shoot. And I think that in itself is a way of, that's a fairly sustainable practice in my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think you guys typing.
Yeah, we'll just give them a minute.
Yeah. If anybody wants to hop on their mic and has a question, or
type a question
asking in the comments. It's actually timed out really well. I was getting worried, but
yeah, if you guys have questions that aren't related to sustainability, maybe they're just small businesses. I think we're kind of like, we've learned a lot, even though we still have a lot to learn, but we're young entrepreneurs like you guys, and so we're from the area. Yeah, so if you have anything related to that.
And if you guys have any questions after this, like Amanda has like our email, or you guys can find us on social media. Like, we're always happy to give you guys a hand, share your stuff, like super open to that. Sue asked, how do you find the community support for your business? It's always growing, of course, like as we get out there more and stuff like that. We're kind of in a weird season right now. As we said earlier, we started in November. So that was like really getting into the swing of things. We did a couple of events here and there. We had a lot planned for this spring and summer, and then obviously COVID hit, and all that stuff got canceled. So we've been finding a lot of support for people from people, even though we were expecting all this support because we were going to be at events and be meeting more people and stuff like that. But we found just as much support, I'm sure, in that people have really noticed the importance of supporting small right now and have been seeking out small businesses that they can support. And I think that the community has been really awesome to us and has welcomed us. And any event or market or anybody that we meet and just chat business about is just like really supportive and really awesome. And then they're everywhere. They're on social media, they're in the local stores that you go to. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Okay.
You guys will.
So, okay, Levi has a question there if you guys just wanted to answer that one quick.
Do you ever have issues with the imposter syndrome in your business? Imposter syndrome in that, like, I'm trying to think of, like, if we're not like doing everything correctly, or like,
or is it, let's Google it.
I think maybe what he's trying to say is people who want to copy your business ideas and kind of use the same products as you. Like, maybe, I don't know, Levi, if that's kind of what you meant by that, if you maybe just wanted to elaborate.
Also, like, you feel like you're lacking when you see like other businesses. Is that also?
I think so. I think it's more about pretending. You think you're pretending to be a business owner when you don't really feel like a business owner. That's that.
Sue can put it into words.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
I think we do a lot. Yeah. I think, I don't know if we question like our own, not validity, but.
Well, kind of. I think it's really hard to not compare yourself to other people. And we see these big, like, there are big businesses who are doing the same thing that we are. Like, we have to be aware of that. But I think that's where you can find what makes you different. And people are going to come to you. Like, you just have to trust in that people will see something that they like about you and come to you.
And that's when you lean on your local community, right?
Definitely.
We're not like, we're shipping to like Edmonton, we're shipping to Calgary, and we're shipping like within Spruce Grove. We're not shipping off to like Kentucky. Do you know what I mean? Like our local audience leans on us just as much as we lean on them. But
as far as like imposter syndrome and being a business owner, I think everybody feels like that because it's like, I think it's also like a self-confidence thing. And I think everybody struggles with that and thinking like, okay, can I really do this? Do I have the resources and means to do this? Do I have the knowledge to do this? And I think even in like the 10 months that we've been doing this, or even less, I feel like we've grown a lot and learned a lot in like when I look back to the beginning and I think like myself, I'm just like, I was doing that then. Like, I knew nothing. I had no idea what I was doing. But you just learn so much so quickly, and I think you just have to like go for it. And that's what we've always said, and that's what we've always done. You just go for it. And
that's not to say that we don't like sit down sometimes and be like, oh, why? Like, we look at someone else's business and we're like, why are they where they're at and we're not? Like, we definitely get caught in that place, or like petty things like, why don't we have 1,000 likes on Instagram yet? Like, literally, I know that sounds like very petty, but there's definitely like, you get caught in that trap of like comparison, and that's not a good place to be. And I think we're lucky to have each other to kind of like pull each other out of those places sometimes, be like, we're doing like great, we're exactly where we're supposed to be,
and you guys have the community here. Like, I think that you guys are so lucky to have each other, especially if you are solo in your business.
I can't imagine, so good on you, first of all.
And you have people that here that are ready to support you and help you out, so.
Like, use this time to your advantage, to your business advantage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everything you said times 100. I just wanted to say quickly, because I do know it's 12:02, I want to respect everybody's time here, including the presenters who were lovely enough to share some of their time, and for all of you students who should fill up on some good food for the next hour before we start our other one. I want everyone to give a big wave, a big thumbs up, anything you can do for our Adams & Co. ladies. This was incredible. Honestly, the fact that it was 2 hours on the dot, I'm very jealous of. Like, that was absolutely, I was like, yeah, you guys knocked that out of the park. So incredible. So students, please share the love. I am going to email all of our presenters that have social media, but if you could please follow these girls on Instagram. And I mean, just because my sister, I'm gonna do this. If you have any questions, please message them. They're here to help you. They're here to support you. They've been in your footsteps. Please reach out to them, please. If you have any questions, reach out to us, reach out to them, anything you need. So yeah, thank you, ladies. That was absolutely phenomenal. We're gonna be posting them about the lovely Adams & Co. ladies on social media. Please show some love because these ladies are great. So how long do you think this meeting will be? Levi will be starting at 1, we'll be going till about 3 p.m. That's Bo. Sorry, Bo. 1 to 3 p.m. Bo. Okay, so thank you again, ladies. Thank you so much. And students, okay, where did you guys' names come from? That's actually, oh, and we're gone.
Oh.
Are we gone? Or was that
name was
Wait, we're still here? That was weird. Okay, do you want to very quickly share how your name started, and then we will let everyone go?
Yeah, it was just a joke. It was a joke. Like, my sisters and I wanted to start a business once, and it was like, we were like, oh, let's name it Duran & Co. So we were trying to decide what her name would be. And her last name is Adams because she married an Adams, and Sophia, the other girl, the other 1/3 of the business, she also married an Adams, so we just went with Adams & Co. The whole business.
We're the Adams.
Yeah. 2/3 are the Adams and 1/3 are the Co. So yeah. Okay, well, I am going to end this so everyone can enjoy their lunch. But yes, again, thank you. And thank you, students. Thank you for all the questions. Amazing. Thank you for being interactive. I really, really appreciate that. So I will see you all at 1 p.m. So goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.